Alrighty, good morning, 7th grade virtual students. If you're doing this on Friday, all the classes in person are doing the practice I learned. And then if you're doing this on a Saturday, you're the in-person people that need to do this while the virtual students come in and do their I learn. All right, so simple interest. Okay, so simple interest is amount of money paid or earned for the use of money. So basically, think of when you're borrowing, you get charged interest for this. All right, so we have a formula. I equals PRT, and each of these letters have something that they represent. Okay, so the I is for the interest. Okay, then we have P. That's a principal. This is the amount that's being deposited or invested. I foul. Principal. Then we have R. This is a rate. Okay, and it is always put into years as an annual interest rate. And pink for time. You always want to put this into years, right? So as you will go through. Now there's a couple rules to remember. Okay, you must turn the rate, a percent number, into a decimal before you put it into your formula. Okay, then there's also a rule about time. We have to ensure time in years. So if it's only half a year, we're not going to use a 1 or a 6. We have to put it in a half form for the year. So as we go through and read these, you'll catch on. All right, so example 1. Find the simple interest earned in a savings account where $136 is deposited. That means you put that amount of money into your savings account. And it's there for 2 years without you taking any money out. If the interest rate is 7.5% per year. Okay, so we have to find out how much interest are you going to earn. First, we have, and we're going to use the formula for simple interest. Okay, we have to change so our interest is what we're finding. We're finding I. Our principal, this is our principal, that's our 136. And then remember, we're timesing. You can either use your parentheses or the dot for multiplication. Then our rate, okay, we have to turn that into a decimal. So this is where we have to go 1, 2. Remember doing that the other week? We have to turn it into a decimal. Then we have our time. How many years did this take? Did you leave your money in there? 2. And we just multiply. So I'm going to put that into my calculator. We said 136 times 0.075 for 2 years. So this is the amount that they give us here. Oh, we did. Oh, here I did that. I kind of skipped ahead. Sorry, guys. So this is where we turned in 7.5 into 0.075. Then we simplified. Okay, so how much interest is earned? And we got to put it in money amount. So this says $20.40. So $20.40. And then, of course, money-wise, put the dollar sign. All right, find the simple interest of $600 invested for 8.5% for 6 months. Okay, so we need to find our interest. We're going to do our principal of $600. Turn this into our decimal of 0 and 85 thousandths. And then this is for 6 months. Okay, this is really going to be a half because it's only half of a year, and it always has to be in years. And then we just plug that into the calculator. So 600 times our rate times half a year. We get $25.50. So I equals 25.50. All right. Word problem. Lewis is taking out a car loan for $5,000. That's our principal. He plans on paying off the car loan in 2 years. There's our time. At the end of the 2 years, he will have paid $300 in interest. Now this time around, we have the interest. So what is the simple interest rate on a car loan? Okay, so this time we gotta find what the rate is. So we're still using the same formula, except we will leave R as R, and then we're gonna have to use our algebraic skills to set it up. Okay, so we have $300 equals our principal of 5,000, our time of 2 times 2, and then our rate. Okay, order of operations. We have to find out what this is first before we can do any real division. So 300 equals 2 times 5,000 is 10,000 R. So just like we did with equations, how do I get my R by itself if I'm multiplying? The inverse operation is division. Now, I know with my students in person, we've talked about how many zeros is how many times you move your decimal. Okay, but since we have such a big number, check it with our decimal. All right, make sure you got it right. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. So if I moved it 4 times, I got that there is a decimal, but that's a rate. So that what is that decimal turn into a percent? And how many hops do you have to take? 1, 2. So it is R equals 3%. Okay. All right, then finish up your homework doing this. Make sure, even if you're using Desmos, you are setting up your equation. Make sure you're paying attention to what you're actually looking for.